figuring out, what you can do to win games. And obviously we're in a time right now where, competing for home court and every game matters. So, I think I'm proud of our resilience, just figuring out a way to win.
What flipped for you late to get going, get some points on the board?
Just shooting the ball more. I mean, I don't think anything changed for me. I think I was just more aggressive. 11 free throws. Wow. Never seen that before. That's cool. But that heavily helps getting to the line, seeing some easy ones, getting some warm, obviously seeing free throws go in always helps. But, just trying to play the right way. And, down the stretch, the team relies on me to close games. So just doing that.
Camera caught you grimacing at halftime after that make. What was bugging you there, and how'd you come out of this one?
I'm fine. I've had a couple games ago. I got a court burn on my back, and I just slid on it, and it started bleeding everywhere. So I'm fine. It's just obviously people don't like to see me grimacing with my history of back issues, but I'm fine. It was just a court burn that started bleeding, and it hurt, but I'll be fine.
What the one thing that Rick pointed out, you said you just started going downhill more, especially with that bucket in particular. He said he felt like that turned a lot of things. I mean, just how important was it to just kind of create a just seeing, I guess, the value of getting downhill and getting on the rim? I think he said you guys were 1.4 per possession in the first half and 1.4 when you got in the paint, 1.1 when you didn't.
Yeah, just trying to get downhill. I think, when you're not shooting well from outside, if you can see the ball go in a little bit, get some layups, some dunks, stuff like that, it opens everything up for everything else. So, that was definitely a point of emphasis for us at halftime to keep getting downhill, get to the paint a little bit more. But yeah, I think we just got to do a better job of starting the first and third quarters. Specifically our first unit, we got to do a better job. I thought our first quarter and start of our third quarter were BS, so we got to be better there. But it's all part of it, and it's we know we can be better there.
So obviously, how important was it to see Pascal have the kind of performance he did coming off of a game that he had to miss?
Yeah, it's good to see him put the ball in the hoop. Obviously he hasn't been, his field goal percentage and stuff hasn't been where we're used to him being. But that's all part of the season. We knew, that we know who he is. We know as we get into playoff time that, when it's time to get a bucket, we can always rely on P. So we have no concerns, but definitely good to see him, put the ball in the hoop. I still think, I feel like we missed a ton of layups early, but again, I think P really, kept it calm, kept us all calm down in the first half. We just, we can rely on him, and, it's big for us.
And defensively, how important was Miles? I think 5 blocks, obviously, he's been doing that for you guys all year, but to get another performance like that from him around the rim, how much that changed things?
Yeah, obviously he anchors the paint for us down there. Thought he did a great job protecting the rim in a game where, he's 1 for 7 from 3. I feel like every 3 he shot was a good look. It's all part of it, and I feel like, like we talked about, at this point of the season, personal agendas, all that stuff is gone. It's just about winning. We're playing for something much bigger than ourselves. We're trying to get home court advantage. And then as you get into the playoffs, personal agendas are completely thrown out the window because all that matters is winning. So, I think that's what's most important right now, and I think that he embodied that, today.
You mentioned home court advantage. I think the T-Wolves are up 20 going into the fourth. I mean, just one, how important would it be to get that sewn up? And two, I think this is win number 48 for you guys, so you're 1 win past, what you had all of last year. And just how important are those milestones, and just what do they tell you about just the progress you guys are making as a franchise? Yeah,
I mean, obviously a cool spot to be. We felt like we've really built something special here, in the last few years. And obviously when I got here, the majority of this team was not here, outside of really TJ and Miles. So it's cool to see what we've built and what we'll continue to build here moving forward. And, getting home court here means a lot, because of, how comfortable we are playing at home, our history of playing at home in the playoffs. And, we feel real comfortable, playing here. So, if we're fortunate enough to get home court, I think that we really want to take advantage of that. And a game 1 in this building sounds really good, and I like the way that sounds for us.
I know in pregame sometimes you guys have chapel with Coach Mo. I was just curious, how have those chapel services, helped you throughout the season and just kind of keep your mind clear?
Yeah, I mean, chapel's a big part my game day routine. Started my rookie year with Harrison Barnes was my vet. Always made sure I was going to chapel. Always made sure if that was important to me, which I made that aware to him that it was. He always stayed on me to be going, and he still does it whenever we play him. Whenever I see him, he's making sure that I'm staying consistent with that. And Coach Mo, being somebody who I met at USA Basketball and now being our team chaplain, he's become a really big mentor for me. And that 15 to 20 minutes I get every day to step aside and talk about what really matters, which is my Lord and Savior. I think is very important for me. And I think we've built a little bit of a community within our locker room too. I think in the past it was maybe just me and Buddy at first when we first got here. And now, we got a few different guys come in. We got some coaches that come, all that stuff. And that's important, because I think it just builds another sense of community and, everybody's welcome. It's a super cool thing that we do here in the NBA, and I always appreciate it. So been a big part of my success and honestly my sanity throughout this year, obviously, because it's been an up and down year. But, I know that coming back to the book, coming back to my peace really there always makes me feel at peace and know the bigger picture. So Coach Mo has been a very instrumental part in, my success over these last 2 to 3 years. Appreciate it.
Pascal, I think this is actually the worst shooting percentage you guys have had as a team all season. What did it take for you guys to overcome that?
That's so funny though, because they just told me you were going to ask that question.
That's the first one.
And it's the first question. What the hell? What the Haliburton? But no.
You're ready.
Yeah, I mean that happens. I think coming from the road trip is just one of those trips. You go to Denver, you come back. I don't know. I mean, I think it happens with missed shots. Can't really dwell on it. It's just I think what we got to continue to do is just make sure that it's kind of like good paying drives and then kick out the shots instead of just maybe just the quick early shots. But overall, I mean, there's going to be nights where you're not going to make shots. That's what happens, in the NBA.
How much did not playing Sunday help your elbow?
I think it helps. I think for me, I gotta stay off the floor somehow. Sometimes just falling a little too much, getting banged up, and just not continuing to hit it. But yeah, it's fine. I think the rest definitely helped for sure. Definitely grateful for that.
What did Miles' defense do for you guys today?
You said what? Sorry. Oh yeah, Miles was excellent. Like he always is. Just being able to protect the rim for us. Obviously, like a tough cover sometimes with some of the bigs that can handle it and like shoot, but he's always a rim protector for us and getting us extra shots. And like that's what he does, man. Isn't he like the block leader in franchise history? Yeah, that's what he does.
You obviously were attacking the paint right out of the gate. It seemed like it took you guys a while to do that collectively, but once you did, it seemed like it changed things. And just how important was that piece today when you're not necessarily hitting outside shots to just keep getting the ball to the rim?
Yeah, I think just continue to be aggressive, attack, which, again, that's part of my game. So just trying to, provide that spark for the team and, be aggressive. I thought I slowed down a little bit, kind of like got to watch that, but just being aggressive, stay aggressive, be myself.
You guys obviously have had a stretch of playing teams like this, teams that are in the lottery and whatnot. That it's been a little bit closer and you've been able to put it away. I guess how much of it is concerned that these games have been close, but how much does it say for you guys that you've still been able to pull them out?
I mean, this is the NBA. I mean, what says that we're supposed to win by a certain number? We got to get the wins. Like obviously, some of those games we lost, but. Half point, even if we won by half a point, I'm taking that. This is the NBA. Everybody that's dressing out there is playing for something. We can say that they're the lottery team or whatever, but it's still the NBA. They still got players out there, and you got to come in and you got to win the game, which we did tonight.
I think this win gives you guys 48 for the year, and I think there's a chance, depending on what happens in Milwaukee, you guys could clinch the 4th seed tonight. I guess how important are just getting to those milestones? Obviously, you still have a lot to play for, a postseason coming up and whatnot. But I mean, just what does that just say for you guys that you've taken, that you're in position to take those kinds of steps?
Yeah, that's awesome. It's great. I think it's being in the playoffs, and we know how important our crowd is to us, and how well we played at home. So being able to get home court advantage is going to be great for us. So we're hoping for that. But at the end of the day, like we still got to show out and play. You know, like no matter if we're at home or away. And to win the playoffs, you have to win away anyway. So I think it's going to be good for us. And just being the 4th seed or third seed, I don't know if that's still possible, but it's good for us to continue to grow, get better from last year, improve, and that's what we hope to do in the playoffs. Also improve from what we did last year.
With 3 games to go, I mean, what do you like about the way your team is playing heading into the playoffs, and what, if anything, concerns you?
I mean, I wouldn't say concerned, but I think we just got to continue to work on some of the stuff that we do defensively, just being connected, and we know that that's what's going to take us, over the top. Like there's going to be nights where, like today you don't shoot the ball well, but if we, follow our schemes and the stuff that we do on defense, we're able to get stops. We're always going to have a chance every single night. So I think that's what we got to continue to focus on, and I think we're playing well. We're playing together. We're playing good basketball, and we just got to keep that going.